Okay, guys, so I just wanted to do a little NCLEX review. I did an ATI review course, so this is all what they covered. She started out covering leadership. So, in school, I got like a couple other types of leadership, but ATI only focused on, and this is an ATI NCLEX review course, not just like a general review. This is for the NCLEX. So she focused on, and so did the book that they gave us, focused on authoritative, democratic, and laissez-faire. And then it didn't even identify like what each one was. You're supposed to just remember. Um, so that's all she really covered on leadership. Okay, guys, so she covered incident reports. I just want to let you know that. Only thing I have in my notes from the class was don't put any opinions and include the outcome and that the MD was made aware. She also talked about making assignments and the things that went into it. I put in my notes because I didn't actually think of it and I got this question wrong. I think it was a select all that apply. Um, the charge nurse goes around at the end of the shift and gets a report. And then this affects the assignment because patient acuity changes throughout the shift. So if a person turns more acute, that person might need to get swapped out with another patient so that there's not too high of an acuity on one assignment. Okay, so she also touched on paper documentation. It needs to have in the beginning the date and time, and then at the end you need your name and title. And if you do make an error, you can't erase, you can't make it illegible. It has to be crossed out with like one line and then initial and date. After you're crossed out, you initial and date and write error. Okay, so this was covered. You could get questions on all this, guys. So, delegation. You know the four rights. I didn't put them there, but she did go over that. Um, so LPNs can reteach, but you can't delegate initial teaching for, let's say, a newly diagnosed diabetic. You can't tell the LPN to go in there and, teach them how to do insulin. Um, because that's the RN's responsibility. You can't delegate. RNs, she said eat. My teacher. RNs eat, evaluate, assess, teach. You can't delegate that. You can't delegate the nursing process. You can't delegate to an LPN to administer any kinds of blood products, albumin, of course, blood, fresh frozen plasma, or ROGAM. And anything that involves nursing judgment, you cannot delegate to a UAP or a LPN, and that's basically any unstable patient. Don't delegate somebody who you think is going into shock to an LPN or, a UAP to get their vitals. Like, you have to be there for that patient as a RN. Any unstable patient, you have to be the one to do the whole nursing process, even vitals. Um, because if anything goes wrong and anything's missed and you delegated something to a UAP or an LPN who isn't qualified to take on an unstable patient, then it's on you. Okay, so delegation was covered, of course. She covered ethics, so know all your ethical principles. I'm not going into all that. I don't know where paternalism ever came from. Like, I don't remember covering that in nursing school, so um, that was just pretty weird to me. Like, Assuming the right to make decisions for another. Is that ever our role? I guess it's talking about a family member. I'm not sure. But she did say know your ethical principles. So she also went over consent. Basically, over 18 years of age, they can sign, and under 18, they can sign if emancipated. But if they're under 18 and not emancipated, then the parent has to sign. I'm sure there's more to it, but that's what I have in my notes, and it doesn't really go much into consent. The teacher said there's 3 types: general, implied, informed. Like, implied is you came to the ER, so obviously you want care. So I don't have to ask you to take your blood pressure, and well, you do, but you don't have to sign consent, basically. But the book didn't even go into the 3 types. But the nurse's role is just to reinforce any teaching that the surgeon or the doctor didn't make clear. All right. So for fundamentals, I think it's under safety. No, assistive devices for ambulation. She said she can guarantee questions on this topic. You'll get questions on the NCLEX about assistive devices, like teaching your patients how to use canes, crutches, walkers, and that's it. So you need to know how to measure for canes and crutches, like it's a certain amount of inches that if they're standing up straight, like they can't be leaning on the crutches because then it's a circulation issue, I think. This is something I have to review, but she gave us the mnemonic COLE for canes. So cane, opposite affected leg. Just wanted to share that with you and let you know that you have to review this topic, and because you're definitely going to have questions on this. All right. Okay, so she also went over transmission. Under transmission, I got PPE on my notes, and she went over how to take PPE on and off. So to take it off, it's in alphabetical order. Gloves, goggles, face shield, gown, and mask. So you don't touch the front of anything. Obviously, you don't touch the gloves, but you don't touch the front of the goggles or the face shield. You don't touch the front of the mask, only the ties. And then to put them on, it's bottom up. So you do the gown, I guess, and then you do the gown. Let me just make sure. Gown, mask, goggles, face shield. Goggles or face shield. And then you go out to the hands, so you put your gloves on last. All right, and then for prevention, she went over primary, secondary, tertiary. And she gave us a mnemonic for droplet and airborne precautions. So I'm going to put that on the other side. I mean, on the next slide, so you guys can see that. All right, guys, so here's what I was talking about. So for Spider-Man, the A and the N are both adenovirus. Just wanted to let you know that's not a typo. That's how she had it. And influenza, it is droplet, but I believe if the person has the flu or COVID and they do a nebulizer treatment, then it is airborne. So I don't think the NCLEX will get that specific, but I'm just saying to be correct. And then MTV is your airborne stuff, okay? So just wanted to share that with you. And guys, let me know how you like this type of presentation. I can do more like it. You can give me topics that you want discussed if you want. I don't have the RN experience with actual patients, but I can definitely get my textbook out and give you an in-depth, lecture kind of. So let me know. And that is it. I will talk to you guys soon. Let me know if you have questions or whatever. And like and subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate it. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.